Dr. Prem, as all of you know, is a elder specialist associated with Justdog Hospital and Graceful Living. He has been doing these sessions on elder health ever since last year, April, and we're very thankful for him to do this. Uh, as a ground rule, when the doctor is speaking, I will be muting everybody. And once he finishes, please unmute yourself, ask your question, and again mute yourself. This is for everybody's, so that everybody can hear. Um, Doctor, if you could just start your video. Hi, Doctor.
Hi, good morning, everybody. And
Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor.
yeah, what more do we want? Wonderful rains.
Yeah.
Already talked about pakoras, I think. But I'm going to tell you to not eat anything, unfortunately. So, because most older adults have a lot of guts to live long, but the gut is what irritates them the most. So, as you know, with all organs, of course, as you age, the gut also ages and things become a bit more slow. Digestion becomes a problem. There is a bit of gastritis, constipation. जैसे हिंदी में एक बहुत लोग कहते हैं कि जलन हो रही है, छाती में जलन हो रही है, सब ऊपर आ रहा है और खाना ठीक से खाना खा भी रहे हैं पर उतना टेस्ट नहीं आ रहा है. So there are a lot of things which obviously change as you age. But I'm going to specifically concentrate on our gut purely because as you age, there are of course certain changes which happen, but it's important that to maintain your gut health because having a healthy gut is important. Now, as far as there are bacteria in our gut, so they control everything, basically from whatever cravings we have uh, to the food. So these gut microbes are very important. So when these microbes are sort of well and in good number, it becomes okay. But as we age, it becomes harder to maintain health in the digestive tract and have this diverse microbiome or the microbacteria, which in turn enhances not only longevity but immunity also. So the more healthy the gut microbacteria are, microbiome is, the bacteria are, the more important it is. So science basically shows that if there is a diversity of the gut bacteria, it promotes healthy aging. So that is something which is very, very important. So today is all about how you want to improve your digestion as you age. So one of the most important things, of course, is there are certain things like constipation, indigestion, ulcers, then something known as diverticulitis, a variety of age-related factors, then medications to a great extent, a lifestyle if you're not sort of really active, and tooth decay. I think that also contributes to a bad gut. So how do you improve it? One is, of course, you need to stay hydrated. As you age, your thirst is not that much, but you still need to drinking water with other fluids, basically pulpy fruits, then liquids and fiber. Fiber, I think, is very important because it helps in bulking up your food and softens all your stools. Then you should drink plenty of water, that is for sure. Things like caffeine, too much of tea and coffee is not good because they have a chance of dehydrating you. Then I think for the gut, most important is what you eat. So you need to maintain, of course, a healthy diet, a healthy weight, because if you're lesser active as compared to younger, there's a chance that you might not burn more calories. So you might, if you have a lot of, for example, a lot of spicy items, lot of fatty items, then you might experience heartburn if you are overeating. So keep your meals just reasonable in size. Do not have too much of fatty food. Then have a lot of fiber. I think adding up the fiber is very important. Fresh fruits, vegetables, then nuts and seeds, they help because fiber basically helps. One is in greasing your digestive system. So it's like an oiling thing which helps in easy flow. Second is, of course, they tend to be low in fat also, the food which is high in fiber. So You will feel fuller when you eat less, and it helps. One of the most important things is helps in maintaining your weight, so you will not get overweight also. Then I think almost everything for healthy aging or is related to exercise. So you need to be active. Get The more immobile you are, the more inactive you are, the more there is a chance that there will be gut problems. So get regular aerobic exercise, whatever it is. That's been the biggest problem in the pandemic, because not a lot of people have been able to go out. But try to do maximum at home. It not only helps in improving your gut, it will help in preventing your heart disease, it will help in controlling your blood sugars, blood pressure, it improves your digestion, and it helps in maintaining a healthy weight, which again sort of helps, is important for healthy digestion. Then there is a lot of correlation which has been found out between stress and your gut also. So the more stressed you are, the more you might have gut problems. There is something known as irritable bowel syndrome, which is directly related to stress, in which a lot of older adults tend to go too many times, or either it's constipation sometimes, or it is diarrhea, and it can sort of be both be present, sometimes only one thing present. So, and in general, there is a too much of stress. So, a reduction of stress is important. It can lead to excessive amount of gastric acid, which will cause heartburn, indigestion. Now, ulcers can be caused, but stress doesn't directly cause ulcers and irritable bowels, but it can make the digestive disorders flare up. So, if you already have ulcers, it can flare up. Now, the best way is, of course, is to release what you call endorphins, which keep you happy. How do you do that? By relaxation. Yoga, meditation is important. Do things that you like. Meditation, as I said, always doesn't mean just something which in which you have to say shlokas, or you have to say some verses. No, it means just something which gives you that eternal peace. Then having a good sleep is very important, because it helps in reducing the stress. Now, of course, there is that old saying that, and keep an apple, eat an apple a day keeps a doctor away. Of course, to an extent, there is a truth. We should have plenty of servings of fruits and vegetables, because the risks of cancers increase with age. So, eating fruits and vegetables helps in reducing this risk. And a lot of antioxidants are there, especially in strawberries, sweet potatoes, bananas, and green leafy vegetables help in keeping away your constipation also. Then try to maintain your smile. By smile, I mean you take care of your teeth, because teeth are very important. If there are too many caries, if there is too much of pain, there is gum problems, you will not be able to chew. And if you're not able to chew, the things will not be small enough to actually get digested. You have to remember every organ in our body has a role. So the teeth also have a very important role. The tongue has a very important role. The teeth actually helps in chewing all your food. It's not that just because you want to feel the taste doesn't come from the teeth, the taste will come from the tongue. But the teeth breaks it down into smaller pieces so that it can actually go down and then get digested. The huge chunks will not get digested. That is one. Then secondly, the tongue actually helps in mixing of the food. Mixing of the saliva with the food makes it more sort of tangible, and helps in it actually getting down properly and getting digested. So it's very important that brushing, regular dental checkups, maintain your dentures also. If you have dentures also, you need to clean them regularly. Then probiotics, I think that is something which we'll talk a lot on. Most gastroenterologists talk a lot about it, and it is important. Now, probiotics, especially like yogurt, these are all very important because they help in promoting healthy digestion. So what they do is they have the naturally occurring organisms which are there in your gut for the healthy gut. They are basically the good bacteria. So these probiotics help in aiding digestion by helping producing the substances which will help in fighting the viruses infections. It will also help in producing vitamin B also, which is, if you're a vegetarian, it's very difficult to get because there are not a lot of sources, but it helps in increasing that also. Then another thing that we try to not do a lot of times is basically not talk to a doctor at all, because we feel that most things the doctor will do is maybe stop your favorite food items, and that is something you are not willing to always stop. But you need to talk to the doctor regularly, purely because if you're having severe heartburn, indigestion, जलन हो रही है, then taste नहीं हो रहा, तो it will affect you in the long term. और आप फिर अगर डॉक्टर के पास नहीं जाएंगे तो ऐसे टाइम पे नहीं जाना पड़े, होपफुली जब चीजें और खराब हो, बिकॉज नॉट एबल टू ईट इज समथिंग विच इज रियली रियली इरिटेटिंग and can affect a lot of things. Now doctor will always help you to help in reducing the weight, motivate you for exercising. If you're smoking, then that doesn't help at all. Then if you're having persistent symptoms, please do not just tolerate it. Then losing weight is not always something which we want as you get older, but if you are very obese, very overweight, then to a certain extent weight loss will always help, because weight loss not only helps your gut, it will help you in digesting better, it will help in preventing the diseases like heart disease, diabetes, all those things will come under control. Now one of the most important ways of not preventing gas, which is one of the most common issues in an older adult, is to space your meals properly. It can't be just two. I mean, morning you're taking at 9, then afternoon you're taking at 2. These are all just too long. As you grow older, try to take frequent meals in smaller amounts, maybe every 2 hourly, every 3 hourly, rather than concentrating on the big meals. The night meal should always be light. It should not be very heavy, because the heavier you eat, the more difficulty you will have in digesting, and that itself can affect sleep. In long term, you can have sleep problems because of severe gastritis. Then reflux, again, if you already know eating things which are masaledar, chatpata, spicy causes you a problem, try to avoid them or try to reduce in amount and then try to avoid them. Because see, I know enjoying the taste really helps, but then if you are going to really suffer after that, then it really doesn't help you in the long term, because it only worsens your things. Now, how to increase your gut bacteria? The plant fiber plays a very important role. So in various studies which have been done, it has been seen that almost 1600 healthy adults in Australia, they actually were free of cancer, heart disease. They consumed most fiber in a day. So they did not take a lot of sugar intake. They had a lot of plant fiber. They were less likely to suffer from hypertension, diabetes. And once this fiber is broken down, it causes something known as short chain fatty acids, which are basically anti-inflammatory. So it helps in increasing your cognitive health also, which is so important as you sort of age. Then another important thing is having a healthy gut flora will always impact things of your daily life. So breakfast bites too, having non-dairy chocolate beverages will be better. So have things which are easily accessible, formulated for gentle digestion. They will help in nourishing your brain, because nutrients are useless in the body if you can't use them. So for example, having too much of fat, having too much of you can say spicy things is only good for taste, but ultimately it will not really sort of help. Now, always people keep talking about probiotic. What is it? Probiotic basically means for life. So these are the organisms which are there in fermented yogurts, then pickles also to a great extent. By pickles, I mean the vegetables which are pickled, not our pickles which are full of oil. Uh, then to an extent, you might not know, our very innocent onion is actually a good source of prebiotic. Then honey is also a good source. So they basically help in providing healthy bacteria which will flourish in our gut and help obviously in improving our uh, you can say the immunity. Now the problem happens is certain things like onions and garlic, which are actually good, are naturally taken out in certain diets, whether it's Jains, whether it's other people who just stop it completely. So that becomes a bit of a downer, because certain natural supplements are always better. Then things like, I mean, asparagus is also sort of come in even a bit more. What is important is probiotics are very important for older adults, because when you care for the gut, it actually improves your nutrition, and ultimately it will prevent sleep disorders, it will prevent depression, obesity. Because see, when you don't eat, it actually sort of affects a lot of things. You might just think it is only about food, but it is not. Then another important thing is your microbial composition as you age will be different. So that's why we need to reset. We need to reset our gut mycobacteria as we obviously grow older. Now, a lot of people are not comfortable taking supplements, and fine. So, how do you increase your gut health naturally? One is, of course, fermented vegetables, those are pickled vegetables. Then things like, of course, yogurt really sort of help. Bananas are good, onions are good, then whole grains are good. Do not take artificial sweeteners and sugar, that does not help. Antibiotics are a good news and a bad news both. If there are too many antibiotics, then that also leads to a problem of the gut bacteria being destroyed. So do not take, that's why I said be in touch with your doctor. A lot of times we start antibiotics on our own. Let me be very clear, they are not legally available over the counter, but in India unfortunately they are. Antibiotics should never be self prescribed because they have issues, they have their side effects as well. Then if anybody is smoking, please do not smoke. Then I am not a real sort of harbinger of saying that you should change the type of your diet, because as you age you can't suddenly, if you're a non-vegetarian, you can't suddenly become a vegetarian. But yeah, being vegetarian has its perks. My only thing is you need to make sure that we try to modify whatever diet you prefer, because as you age it's not easy to just tell you don't eat anything and just stop everything. So then you will be telling me that what should I actually eat, and where is the nutrition? You have actually stopped everything. So overall I think a healthy gut very clearly is improving your life and longevity. So that's why we always keep saying it's a healthy mind, body, and soul. But we have to remember that it's a healthy gut. That is one of the most important things, because if there is one thing you would never want to change is actually eating. So you obviously want to sort of eat pretty much continuously. Then why are vegetables important? Because we keep, I mean, we as older adults keep telling our younger generation, our grandchildren, you should take a lot of vegetables. But we ask we should ask ourselves also, are we doing the same as we age? Are we taking that many amount of vegetables? So it basically has certain things known as polyphenols, which are very good for the gut bacteria. And it's very, very important that we increase the amount of vegetables as well. Then, why is gut bacteria important? Let me tell you, it helps in an inefficient activation of the immunity system. So there are a lot of ways we can build immunity. Gut is, of course, one of the ways. So this is in overall how to take care of your gut health. Remember, a healthy gut keeps you at peace in a lot of ways, because stress can lead to a bad gut, but a bad gut can lead to even more stress. So thanks a lot for all your patient hearing. I'm open to questions. I would still maintain it's a wonderful environment. Maybe a cheat day today might not be a bad idea.
Thank you very much, doctor. I was just thinking of the same thing. Like, it's hard to actually listen to this and not think of pakoras all the time. But yes, thank you very much. Everybody, two things. Number one is this talk is also being recorded and they're going to put it on our website by the end of the day. I'm going to allow people to ask questions in about a minute. Please ask your question first, unmute yourself, ask your question, and again, mute yourself, please, so that everybody else can hear. Please ask questions. Are there any questions? Please unmute yourself and ask. Yes, Amitji, you have a question.
Yeah, my question is basically after the age of 60, one said have a lot of gas build up. So you said that you have meals every 2 hours. Is that a cure or is just a normal saying or what's the way out?
No, I wouldn't say it's a cure, because it's something which you want to prevent as you go ahead. So if you're already suffering from gastritis, and usually the buildup of all this acid happens when you're actually having long intervals between diet. So this is preventive and curative in some extent. it depends on your extent of disease. If you already had a history of gastric ulcer, then of course it becomes a bit problematic. But in general, to avoid sort of having severe gastritis, it is always better that you reduce the number of hours. One is that, and secondly, somehow big meals will not be tolerated well as you get old. You just get that. Even sometimes you just see a big multiple things in a plate itself. A lot of older adults are like, oh my god, I can't eat this. That's why try to split things. At least it will give you that nourishment, and at the same time it will also always help you to prevent the gastric part. Another thing is, one thing you should never think is there is always a tablet to help you in reducing the gas. Yes, tablets are there, but remember one thing: every tablet has a side effect. So with more tablets and interactions, obviously side effects will be more. For example, one of the most commonly used tablets is pantoprazole, but that also in long term can have certain issues in older adults. So that's why it's always better to take a mixture of lifestyle, try to have a proper interval between your diet. Because, and the worst part is if you're a diabetic, because then we are sort of have to cut off most of the thing. And to an extent with diabetes, there is something known as diabetic gastropathy also. So everything just slows down in general as well, as far as digestion is concerned. So that is even more difficult to handle. But I would say if you're losing too much of weight also suddenly, that is a worry for me, because that is something which we are always wary about. But too much of weight also will never help you, not only the gut but the other systems. For example, if you have bad knees and you're not able to walk, you have to be active to have a good gut, to have a good body. But at the same time you can't because you have severe ONE. So it becomes a vicious cycle and you are not able to come out of it.
No, my question is a little different.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel that maybe my digestive juices in the stomach have gone down, and the gut bacteria have to work overtime to release the gas and digest whatever's there in the large intestine. So, what is the way to reduce that? I mean, I exercise daily. I'm pretty much weight is under control. No diabetes. There's no other medical problem at all.
So you need to have more of the probiotics. Are you taking enough amount of that? Because it's not that the gut bacteria are working overtime. No, that is not. The gut bacteria which are there in yours might be depleted, because as you age, the gut bacteria actually deplete. They don't increase. So that's why we should have the probiotics. We are talking about a healthy gut bacteria here.
The Yakult and all, is that what you're talking about?
Yakult is there, normal yogurt is there. Then, I mean, to be very frank, even onions and garlic, they actually sort of increase the probiotics.
No, because I eat a lot of onions, a lot of yogurt, but I feel that the extent of the gas has gone up. So I thought maybe it's a lack of digestion and the gut bacteria working overtime, which is resulting in that.
See, I would say always, if you're doing everything and things are still not working, then of course you need to consult somebody, to be very frank, because this is what we always try to do. Prevention is always good, but if you're having a symptom which is really bothering you, then it's always better to check it out, because there have been a lot of times diabetics have told just gas, and unfortunately we have discovered even heart attacks. So I'm just saying, as you get older, the symptoms can be sometimes very misleading. That's our challenge as doctors. So try to get yourself checked is what I would say, because ultimately if you're doing everything which is required and you're still having gastritis, then of course that is something you need to look into.
Correct. It is also related to frequent urination. There is no cancer of this thing. So I've got that.
Amitji, let's take this to our, I think the other people are trying to ask questions. Is there any other question? Maybe you could take it after if you have time.
Okay.
Hello, doctor. Hello.
Yeah, ma'am.
Can I, what about the fasting? Can older adults keep fast frequently or rarely?
According to me, older adults should not fast.
Achha.
Purely because see, to get used to that, I know you might be used to it from a younger age that you have been doing, but your appetite is lesser as compared to earlier. On top of that, pushing long hours of fasting can only sort of make things a bit more worse. So I think, as far as it's for God and religious purposes, and see, you are convinced with yourself in your faith, I don't think there is any other issue. You don't need fasting to sort of recalculate it. But health-wise, fasting, if you already have gastritis problems, can only make it worse. So that is not something which is I recommend, because you are having an aging body. When we were younger, you had a younger body, so that could take it much easily.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes, doctor. Tell us something about the importance of ORS in case of diarrhea.
Yeah, see, ORS is basically something which can be created at home also. All you need is lemon, sugar, and salt, and water. So basically, what happens in diarrhea. I'll just tell you in maybe a brief moment. Actually, diarrhea itself can be a separate topic. It's very important in older adults. Basically, you lose a lot of water and you use a lot of electrolytes. So what does ORS do? ORS has a combination of sodium, potassium, salt, and all, and it replenishes the water content and also the salt content in our body, which is what? See, diarrhea doesn't kill or make you suffer because of the loss that you're having and you're not able to eat. It's because of the water volume and the salts that you lose through the gut. That is what makes you really sick. So that's what it is basically. So try to replenish yourself. And whenever somebody has a diarrhea, of course, you need to take plenty of fluids, and you need to make sure that you obviously have the ORS, which replenishes you even more so. And of course, if it continues, then of course you might need antibiotics.
Doctor, is Yakult good for gut?
Yeah, Yakult is supposed to be good for gut. Yogurts are supposed to be good for gut. They are basically probiotics, so they will obviously help.
Doctor, I think Dinesh Shah wants to ask a question.
Yeah.
Dinesh, do you want to ask a question? You have to unmute yourself. Okay, anybody else? I think he's not there. Anybody else would like to ask a question? We have time for one more. Yes, Margaret.
Yeah, I would like to know whether having olive fruits for dinner, is it okay? No cooked food along with it.
No, to be very frank, a lot of older adults, in fact, a lot of younger people also do that these days. See, the lightest meal technically should always be the dinner, because there's just too much
fruits I have in the night for dinner.
Yeah, that's fine. That's actually fine. Another thing is, the heaviest meal should ideally always be your breakfast, because that is the longest time that you are fasting. If you realize that in the night to morning is the longest time. But yeah, fruits is, to be very frank, fresh fruits, maybe a bit of curd or yogurt always helps.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I think we're out of time. I know that people are still willing to ask questions, but I think we'll have to take it to another day. Thank you very much, Doctor, again for this session. It's been really helpful. We look forward to seeing you again next week. The video of this will be kept on our website by end of day. Please do have a look at it. Thank you very much and stay safe.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you, doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Prem. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.